Sean McVay, offensive coach, 5-0 in openers. Like Andy Reid, who's great in September. He brings in a few new offensive wrinkles. Nobody's seen in the league. The Bills are without their top corner. Yeah, I probably think the Rams win tonight, but I think it is a Super Bowl preview. But here's why I trust the Rams to not be another one of these Super Bowl teams, winner or loser, that has a hangover. Love their owner, love their GM, love their coach, and love their quarterback. But it's more than that. It's that they didn't bring back the entire roster. Tampa did. Every coach, every player back. And what happened to Tampa last year? They didn't have the urgency. A little apathetic. Philadelphia Eagles brought like 17, 18, and 22 starters back. What happened to that Doug Peterson Eagle team? Didn't play with the urgency. Still celebrating the following year. The Rams didn't do that. Von Miller wanted the bag. We love you. Go get that money in Buffalo. Cornerback Darius Williams thought he was getting the bag. Rams said, we didn't like how you played post-Thanksgiving. We're going to draft another corner. Cam Akers, 2 costly fumbles against the Buccaneers. We like you, Cam, but we drafted another running back, a kid out of Notre Dame that doesn't fumble. Linebacking crew, good, maybe a weakness. They brought in Bobby Wagner. Robert Woods, hey, I was injured. I am back. Yeah, and we're moving on. Allen Robinson, upgrade. OBJ wants his money. We'll see. We'll see if you get healthy. It's just that little energy and anxiety, the Rams. This is very Belichickian. You think you're part of the plans, but you got to produce. Aaron Donald produced. He got paid. Matt Stafford produced. Came from behind 3 times. Got money. Cooper Kupp, unstoppable. Got his money. Darius Williams didn't. Cam Akers now is going to back up the little play. Bobby Wagner's now going to get the linebacking core shaped up. Allen Robinson replaces Robert Woods. That's how you do it. Von Miller, somebody else had to pay him. This organization, it's not just that I like the owner, the GM, the coach, the quarterback. They didn't get apathetic. They were not content. Jared Goff got him to a Super Bowl. We think we can do better. That's my kind of football team. When Tampa Bay brought everybody back, let's face it, it's Tampa. They don't win much. It's like we got to pay everybody. Everybody gets a car commercial. Remember Philadelphia? I kept joking. Everybody got a book. Everybody got a car commercial. That parade must have lasted 3 weeks. Didn't have the same urgency. Rams create. Rams are loyal and Rams like you. But they make it real clear. You got to produce. You got to get the big sack in the Super Bowl. You got to come from behind like Stafford. You got to be unstoppable like Cooper Kupp. Then you get it. You get banged up. Can't trust you physically. You fumble a little too much. You were bad post-Thanksgiving. Or you're a little old. We got expectations here. We're not paying everybody. That's why I've said about OBJ. I think they're just kind of sitting, looking, waiting, seeing how these young receivers play. And if they're good, you say all the right things, but you maybe don't have to pay them that $8 million or whatever it is for a single year. So I trust this team so much. I think they're in a really good spot all the while, the entire time this is happening in the offseason. The rest of the NFC is declining. Dallas's offensive line is in a free fall outside of right guard. Tampa's offensive line, guard, center guard, kind of a mess. San Francisco, they re-signed Garoppolo. They don't know what's going on at quarterback. Green Bay, Devontae Adams left. They don't have a number 1. Arizona, noisiest. So as the NFC power brokers start declining, the Rams, the Super Bowl champs, with the best owner, maybe the best GM, the best coach, maybe the best quarterback in the NFC, said, well, I'm going to keep tweaking, keep getting better, not paying everybody that wants to get paid. My kind of team. Well, we have a story today that is quite interesting. So I am from the beautiful Pacific Northwest. You know that. I grew up there, love it there, love the foggy, wet mornings at SeaTac Airport. I like Seattle. I know privately I'm not supposed to root, but when the Seahawks got Russell Wilson, won a Super Bowl, my sister finally liked football, and it was kind of cool. But I've been on the Seahawks for the last 3 years. I'm Mr. Negative now. That's how I'm viewed up there. Hometown kid goes to L.A., thinks high of himself. He just crushes the Seahawks. That is not true. Still a place in my heart for Seattle, but all the blame always goes to Russell Wilson. Well. Interesting what story came out today. ESPN's Brady Henderson published a very in-depth feature Wednesday on what went wrong with Russell Wilson and the Seahawks. And what do we have here? But ammunition, proof that Uncle Colin was onto something. According to the story, multiple sourced, the GM, John Schneider, who I've been very critical of, went to Patrick Mahomes' pro day at Texas Tech and would have drafted him if he was available. All right, Mahomes pretty good. Oh, he went to the pro day of Josh Allen and would have drafted him if he was available. All right, those guys are pretty good. The story also says in 2018, 4 years ago, they would have shipped Russell Wilson for the number 1 pick to Cleveland. Now, that's interesting because Russell Wilson's agent found out about it 4 years ago. So let me ask you. I know if I was discovered 4 years before my contract is out, they wanted to replace me, wouldn't I have a right to a little bit of animosity, especially if I delivered a Super Bowl, delivered big ratings? I'd have a little animosity, a little chip on my shoulder. So my takeaway on this story is, A, if you are going to draft Mahomes or if you are going to trade Russell, as a general manager, you tell nobody. You don't tell your scout. You don't tell anybody. You tell the owner, that is it. That is privileged, covert, secret information. Never leaks out. It leaked out. Russell Wilson found out about it. Secondly, if you're going to talk about this and think about it, do it. I mean, listen, I like Russell Wilson more than Jared Goff, but the Rams moved off Jared Goff, and it caught us all by surprise one day. Didn't leak out. Their GM, Les Snead, didn't leak it out. McVay didn't leak it out. So my takeaway here is the Seahawks have had 5 or 6 of their last drafts, maybe 7, have been atrocious. So right now, here's what I know about the Seahawks front office. They can't keep secrets. They pissed off their star quarterback 4 years ago, and their drafts have gone into the tank. That doesn't sound like a Russell Wilson issue to me. That sounds like a John Schneider issue. And this is something I talked about years ago. When Paul Allen, before he died, last couple of years, got very sick. He was removed more from the front office. Pete Carroll, in a power grab, took control. Russell Wilson was playing football. John Schneider was a young executive. Pete Carroll was the Super Bowl winning coach. He took control, and it has been a power struggle. Pete has disrupted early draft picks where scouts will say, take this guy, and Pete's like, get me that running back or give me this defensive player. I've got that source from 2 different people. Pete had too much power. So my point is this. If you want to draft Mahomes, keep it to yourself. Don't let it out and go draft him. But all this is ammunition. This is proof of what I've been saying is everybody wants to blame Russell Wilson. The minute Paul Allen got sick and wasn't there on a day-to-day basis, his leadership void was clear. It became a power grab. I've said this multiple times. Pete Carroll won. I don't have a problem with my coach having some power. Sean McVay has some power. Kyle Shanahan's got some power. Andy Reid got some power. I don't have a problem with Sean Payton and Bill Belichick having some power. Too much power, though, corrupts in the NFL and in business. And so now there is a silver lining to those of us who grew up in the Pacific Northwest from this story today. John Schneider drafted Russell Wilson, and he loved Mahomes and Josh Allen. So he's got a good eye for quarterbacks, and the Seahawks are drafting one next year. That's the silver lining. But this is proof and ammunition for what I've been on for 3 years, is that there were stuffs getting out that shouldn't get out. Of course, Russell Wilson's ticked off. You would be too if you knew 3-4 years out they were going to ship you to the worst franchise in the National Football League after you brought them a Super Bowl. You'd have a chip on your shoulder too. Keep that stuff to yourself. And by the way, draft better. As Russell Wilson's been carrying the franchise, draft better. Keep secrets and draft better. So good stuff. Read the story. Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from The Herd or go watch a few segments from other shows on FS1.